We need a wacky sort of crash or something like we did last time when we went through the Lovers Retreat stream. So if you just stand there, we could kick you hard in the balls. Oh, I hope we would crash. That would fuck, it's warm here.
Huh?
It's fucking warm in here.
It is warm.
We're getting cooked by the Gortin sun.
Your goose is cooked.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to WilMacca 4.
What's this byline? WilMacca 4.
Shut the door.
Shut the door. Now that should be WilMacca 4. Shut the door.
WilMacca 4. You didn't even want anymore.
Oh.
You want to get it though?
Oh, you shouldn't say that, Macca.
Oh, well, because there's just fucking...
That's not woke. We're
spot,
we're literally in the Notorious docking spot.
And currently active.
Yeah, it's
you can actually see out the back window for the first time.
Yeah, I got this big car wash for the first time in a year and a half. No, it's about a year.
No, it's not that, it's the exposure, but probably should have reversed things so we get the bit of view behind us.
Nah, it's fine. I'll take a few shots for the end of the video, you know, so they can always see where that we're doing a good job, so people can see where we are. You know?
You did a good job.
Good job. Right, so Macca, this week, what have you been up to? What's been in the news? I only realise it's one massive thing that's been in the news, but I think you've talked about it already on
TV. Your opinion.
This English Super League or European Super League.
I did a 27-minute
diatribe
video essay on it. I can't believe I actually fucking spoke that long and I still missed out stuff that I wanted to speak about. And then of course the next day they all fucking chickened out and pulled out of the fucking thing.
What do you mean? Oh, like I know.
They didn't even survive 1 week of bad PR. Every fucking corporation, especially when they're making some big, like, seismic move like that, has to expect there's going to be fucking problems, PR problems and stuff to be chasing.
Yeah, those doggers were chased were obviously too attractive for them.
Yeah. So they didn't even see out a few days of bad publicity. They all just fucking chickened out, which makes me even have even less respect for them.
Well, they all English ones chickened out, but the Barcelona and Real Madrid people are still, and Juventus ones are still up for a big time.
I think Juventus have pulled out now.
Have they pulled out as well? Oh, man, never pulled out.
Yeah, well, exactly. Like the idea of a European Super League makes perfect sense, as in the idea of having the elite teams play against each other.
Yeah.
But this whole fucking, you know, this pull up the drawbridge attitude of it.
I know, it's so stupid.
What's your opinion?
I didn't really care because, like, you know, my thoughts.
Shit, you fucking hope you burned your Liverpool jersey, you scummy cunt.
My thoughts on the whole thing were that they destroyed the European Cup once they separated the Champions League from the UEFA Cup. So, you know, don't care, Macca.
What do you mean they separated the Champions League?
Well, like, why is there like 4 teams from England playing? Imagine getting 4 from England playing in the Champions League, and then you have to qualify if you're the winners in Scotland and stuff.
I don't understand. I don't understand how Scotland has fallen so far.
I just don't see that. I just think that's stupid. I think if you're going to do it right, the winners from every country should be in the main the biggest competition, and then after that,
then any extra spaces then get distributed. Fair enough, but what I don't like is the Europa League. If they come third in their group, they drop down to the Europa League, so they still get a chance to fucking increase their coefficient and win something, obviously.
Yeah. But
it just means that they're constantly reinforcing their own elitism, and I would suggest falsely. Do you know what I mean? If Real Madrid came third in a group and then went to the Europa League and they got fucking Grasshoppers or somebody. Remember Grasshoppers used to be a team that you see all the time in the UEFA Cup days.
So were the young boys of Bern and
exactly.
FC Thun and Kalmar FF.
Those classic European teams that you only see in the UEFA Cup.
Yeah.
And then as you said, the Europa League came around, and that just became far too long. Do you know what I mean? A straight 2-legged knockout. It was a great tournament. You know, for the second tier European teams to have Aston Villa had a great UEFA Cup 1 year. It was brilliant.
Yeah, I remember like that big year. I remember Celtic and Liverpool played each other, and Celtic beat them and all. They were great. They were brilliant matches though.
2003.
Yeah, they were brilliant.
They beat Barcelona out of that thing as well, didn't they?
Maybe.
I think they beat Barcelona in the new camp that time.
Yeah, that was good. John Hartson's goal was unbelievable. John Hartson, whatever happened to him? I always assumed he would drink himself to death, but I believe he's still alive.
He's presenting quite regularly on BBC, isn't he?
I like him.
With a big dent in his forehead where his brain used to be. Because he had a brain tumour, is that not right?
Did he?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, fuck. Oh, well, there you
go. All I remember is him kicking the head of Ile Bergovich.
Ile Bergovich? What, his own team?
Well, in training, there was fucking somebody, I think it was Bergovich. They were playing at West Ham or something, and there's just a photo of Jordan Hartson following through, having already clocked him when he was lying down. So he clocked him, and you saw the foot about here from his head. So he clearly just fucking smacked him as hard as he could, all deliberately. So he got sent to Celtic, and then about 6 months later, Ile Bergovich also got sent to Celtic.
Brilliant.
But yeah, that's the Super League for you. So now,
honestly, I didn't even care about it. Like, I know
that suggests you don't care about football anymore.
Soccer, Macca.
Well, soccer anymore. Is that an accurate assessment?
No, it's not accurate. It just like
it sort of is for me, to be honest.
What, you just don't care?
I've lost most of the interest in soccer now. Like Aston Villa had a good first half of the season, so I got back in, and then they've just fallen off again. So I don't really give a fuck.
No, I still like watching sometimes. Like, it depends what you're watching. Sometimes it's just complete dross, you know. But I don't like. It doesn't surprise me they were going for it. So you thought they were going to start Super League years ago, didn't you?
Yeah, like I said, it's the way the tide was turning. And it's been turning like that for a good long time. And all the American owners, I knew they would try this to turn an NFL.
Yeah.
And I had actually just texted my uncle on Saturday evening and said, whatever it was he said, I was like, well, not really. I think they're just setting the table for
the Champions League, negotiated them or something.
Well, it wasn't even that. We were chatting about the Premier League, and I said I think they're just setting the table for a European Super League. And then literally about fucking 12 hours later, he texted me back and goes, "And they've got us European Super League up and running." How the fuck did you find out about that? And I was like, I was fucking gobsmacked. I didn't think they were anywhere near as close as I thought they were.
Yeah.
But
it was a weird time to bring it out too, though, I thought.
Well, it was a power play to usurp the Champions League reform, and even that Champions League reform is just so fucking convoluted.
Is there a way with what are they doing?
Well, it's like it's not an odd number of teams, but it's an irregular even number, if that makes sense. So it's not a number you can easily divide into groups of 4 or anything like that. So they have to fucking, and they're talking about doing 2 groups of 10, and then playing more of a league format rather than the group of knockouts. And you remember 10, 12 years ago they had fucking 2 group stages?
Did they?
They did that for about 2 years, I think.
Maybe. No, I don't think. I don't like these kind of. If it's a cup, I think it should be knockout. Same as they do with the, opposed to the Cypriot competition. I think it's stupid.
Well, again, that was to satisfy Sky TV, I would imagine.
So? I just thought it was stupid. I quite liked the backdoor. I thought it was a good way of doing it.
The backdoor is a bit convoluted as well, just because they want to maintain the Ulster Championship. And really, that's what they're doing. Is they don't really give a fuck about the other provincial championship. Really, I mean, Connacht maybe, but that's about it.
Yeah, Connacht's only got really one game, hasn't it?
Well, no, Connacht's been relatively varied. I mean, Roscommon and Sligo have won it in the last 10 years, 12, 15 years. But it's the Ulster Championship is a classic championship, a classic straight knockout championship.
Yeah.
But then
the draw for it came out there last week too.
Cavan, Tyrone, and Donegal in the preliminary round again. They seem to like it. The preliminary round.
I won't say the draw's down Donegal, Tyrone, and
down.
And who else? Derry.
We might have to fucking cower or these SDLP
Down. I know, it's true. So I don't know who's going to win the other side. I think Armagh might be in the other side, but Armagh.
Hard to gauge Armagh.
Monaghan's there too, but I don't know.
I think Monaghan I'll say again. Because the last 2 years have been so upended, it's hard to really get a proper gauge. I thought Monaghan would do a lot more last year.
No,
but it feels too punitive for the Ulster champions to be knocked completely out of the. Sorry, if you're knocked out of Ulster, you're also knocked out of the All Ireland, because
I know
Kerry get fucking 3 matches. Well, they get a match against fucking Clare or somebody, like a Division 4 team. Then they might have a challenge in the Munster final, but that gets them a bye to the fucking Cypriots effectively, because all they have to do is win 1 match to get to the Ulster final. It's like it's so ridiculously unfair. Like there's 32 teams. It lends itself to so many fucking straightforward
I know.
tournament formats, like especially 4 groups of 4 or 8 groups of 4.
I don't really like the whole group things like that though.
Well, I don't know. I think it'd be alright.
It's alright. I suppose it works really
guaranteed 3 matches. Like.
Well.
And do you know what I mean? Like if Fermanagh, if they got in a group,
Alright.
well, that's what I'm saying. If they got in a group with Clare and Carlow, say, they would fancy their chances of getting out of that group.
No, they would stuff them, I'd say.
Exactly. Yeah. So, like, then they've suddenly got a route then to an All-Ireland quarter-final.
I know.
That's much more, or All-Ireland 16 or whatever it's called.
Yeah. I think there should be definitely the separates. I don't like it, but yeah, I can see it. Like, I don't know. Maybe do you think it should be like a Champions League format then for the All Ireland?
Just in the sense that for inter-county Gaelic football, 1 loss ending your year is just too punitive. I think. Do you know what I mean?
Well, 2 losses would have to be in the back door.
So it's 2 losses in the back door, but at least you get another run out. Like, do you know what I mean? If
suppose if you've lost 2 and you've got 1 game left, it just means you can play like players that might be coming up for next year or something.
Exactly.
And at least they get to play a championship match as well.
And do you know what I mean? Like how useful is to Clare to get their heads kicked in by Kerry every year and don't really have a match where they could feasibly
win?
Do you know what I mean?
Would you see it or just on the league then?
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, there's a fucking seeded. There's a league tournament that already determines, the class or the.
Well, maybe I think maybe they would what do you call it? Would they play the provincials and then seed it going by the results of the provincial championships and then seed the All Ireland draw from it and like seed the groups from that?
That would work.
Yeah.
So all the provincial finalists are all separate.
Are all like number 1 seeds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just work it from there. And then you keep the integrity of the Anglo-Celtic Cup, like, you know what I mean? And it's all, and again, you could have that in 2 wee windows. So the provincials, in March, say, the All-Ireland, June to September, whatever it is.
We've solved it, Macca.
We have solved it. It's so fucking easy.
We've solved the question that they've been chatting about for years and years.
Years and years.
Get it on the manifesto, Macca.
Right. See if you see the shape of my face now in this camera.
I have seen the shape of your face.
It's horrible, isn't it? If I went around wearing a Batman cowl, would you really not fucking recognise me?
No, I would go like, Batman's never been so jolly.
The jowl and the cowl.
See, I've started cutting this beard to make it look like a fake jaw.
See, everyone says I should a beard. I hate having a beard. I've actually got a reasonably strong jawline, like.
No, I don't anymore. I've put on too much weight. I swear, I bought new clothes and I was like, this lockdown's had a lot to answer for. I may have to do something about it.
I haven't even bought new clothes for a funeral.
I had to. I literally
what are you going to wear?
Anything.
I was just going to wear
I'm just wearing black. No, I'm just wearing jeans and a shirt, I think, if I can fit into one.
Like a shirt. Okay.
It's going to be cold in the morning, like. You can't wear a t-shirt. I was thinking about
we're filming afterwards, like.
I know.
Let's bear that in mind.
Yeah, no, but that's right. I like to be I have a professional look, Macca, at all times. Except for now, because I didn't want to show you up,
I'm wearing black. I'm absorbing the heat.
I used to call you the heat.
Yeah. This is the most active area we've ever had on the WilMacca podcast. Even Lover's Retreat wasn't even quite so Adonisty.
I know. I was actually down Lover's Retreat there another day. I've been there twice, and like
you went down to give your lover a treat. Hey.
Nah. So I've been down there twice. I haven't been there since we played football at school like 20 years ago, and didn't look like that.
Everyone talking about football. Where is this football pitch? Did you all chat about?
It isn't there anymore. It was done up. Like I remember, it wasn't even hardly cut.
It was a grass pitch.
Yeah. What else have I seen in the news to ask you about, Macca? Because I like hearing your opinions on these issues, the issues of the day.
Issues of the day.
What about this? I heard that Sinn Fein have their voters list in a database in Germany. So I think it's basically they have like 3.5 million voters elected in the electoral list, and they have like not whether these beside your name whether you're probably going to vote for Sinn Fein in the election and stuff. But I assume all these parties have this kind of thing, you know. But they've got it
What is
saved
this?
in a database in Germany.
So what's the big deal?
I don't know what the big deal is. I think they're trying to.
Just Sinn Fein bashing?
I think it's Sinn Fein bashing.
Is it because it's been held outside the country there's a vulnerability or something? Is that
Yeah, I
what
think
they're
so.
trying to
But
get
it's
at?
in the EU, so it's open. It's got GDPR. So I don't know what the deal was. It just came out today. I don't know why the issue was. I didn't.
I saw the headline and I skimmed right past it. I didn't even fucking look in to see what
Yeah,
it was about.
I think they were trying to get attention away from the fact that
They're declaring
that Leo Varadkar was questioned by the police, and not a single journalist in Dublin reported it, and it was about a week ago. And he was questioned for an hour in the police station, and his phone confiscated for leaking medical contract.
Second in command of the government has been questioned
Used to
under
be
caution.
first about when he was first in command, wasn't it?
And he's due to be, he's due to next be the next in command.
Yeah.
When is that happening actually?
It was after 2 years, isn't it?
Sure, must be close to that now. Well, no, 1 year.
No, really about 1 year. Yeah, so what do you think about that? All the journalists in Dublin, all the ones who work for the national broadcaster, not a single person who was questioned by the police in the interview.
Did they not know, or they knew and they just hadn't alerted the public?
Yeah,
See,
that's the weirdest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Exactly, like it's all just too cosseted in Dublin, and it's become a real problem. Like Doheny and Nesbitt's is a very famous pub in Dublin. Have you ever heard of it?
No, I don't think
Well,
so.
it's about 10 doors away from the Leinster House, and all the journalists and all the TDs and all drink in there, and all the businessmen, and it's just renowned for just being this sort of not lads thing, but like it's just a wee sort of protected wee environment. And so Leo or one of the Fine Gael top brass probably said, don't be mentioning this in the news or you'll not get access to us again or something like that. And everyone, see what I was saying before about why we need a new voice in this, especially one away from the East Coast, is because even in Belfast everyone's too afraid to fucking rock the boat too much, which is a fucking death knell for journalistic credibility.
I think it's ridiculous.
That if somebody says something that annoys the wrong person, they might stifle their career advancement, even within. So say even the BBC might not want to piss off the DUP for whatever reason. So if you had a story that revealed DUP corruption, they might not run it because, or they might not actually tell their superior because they know that the DUP's off limits this month, and it's the same down south. And
I sure know remember the Gulf Gate down south? The amount of people that were at it was two young fellas that found out about that, wasn't it?
Well, it was a young girl, a young female journalist, but it was two young ones, and it also happened over in Galway. Is that correct?
Yeah, but look who was going to it.
Exactly, all the fucking top brass judges and lawyers and journalists and everything. Yeah,
and MEPs.
So it was just this wee fucking sort of mini Illuminati group or Bilderberg group.
It's the global cabals, Macca.
Well, the Irish cabal.
True.
They're probably voting for their
cabal and the Heron.
But so it was two outsiders that had to break that story.
Yeah.
And the whole story about Varadkar passing those documents.
O'Toole.
Matthew O'Toole. But he was so that was released in this it's effectively a blog called thevillage.ie. I was trying to find if there's any even printed magazine. I think it might be a 1 or 2 man operation. But it's obviously these outsiders had finally broke the story, and it got eventually picked up by the sort of Twitter. The Twitter sort of this is what Twitter is good at.
The Twitterati.
I didn't want to say that because Twitterati are the fucking the ones who cause controversy that doesn't actually exist.
Yeah.
But do you know the way because Twitter's good at actually, if you have 10,000 followers, there is the odd chance that maybe 2 or 3 of them might retweet it, and then somebody who it will just pick up from there. So that is what Twitter is good at. It's not good enough at it though, is what I would say. But yeah, so that slowly trickled out through Twitter, and again, as you say, it was never actually picked up by the East Coast media.
Ridiculous.
And the fact that he's been fucking questioned by the Gardaí, even if it was just a fucking traffic ticket, it's worth mentioning in the news. You know what I mean?
I know.
And yeah, it's we need to fucking decentralise from Dublin. I actually think that the capital should be somewhere like Athlone or somewhere.
You think it's Athlone?
Or well, somewhere like that. I'm not wedded to the idea that it's Athlone, but it should be somewhere sort of outside cities, outside of Dublin. Why that's that?
I don't know.
How long has it been stopped for?
No idea. Don't think it's too long, but you got there on me.
Yeah, but this one's still on. Anyway, when you want to fucking give some opinions, you jerk?
What about my opinion about the... I have the... Can you... Are you in it?
Just about. I might need to put the exposure up again.
Right up there. Do you want to take a break, Macca? To fix your technical ish?
That better? Yeah, like. This is what happens in Ireland. You know it's actually fucking about 2 degrees outside. It's about 2 fucking degrees centigrade. Or something similar in the middle of April.
I know. Sweltered. I am sweltered in this jumper.
Now we're sitting in this fucking heat box in the car. I'm hotboxing the car.
Yeah, it's not hot.
Oh, do you know what I didn't do actually?
What?
Oh, fucking 420. I didn't do anything to celebrate.
Alright.
So I'm going to start sparking up now. No, I'm not actually.
Yeah,
not inside the car. But I wanted to do something to acknowledge it was 420 last week.
Yeah. What is about 420 though? Why is it 420? Such as when the law was passed or something?
No, it's actually really dweebish. But 420, like I said, when American school finished at 4 o'clock, all the kids would meet at 4:20 to go out the back of the onto the bleachers to smoke their joints or whatever. So it became 420. Just became the sort of shorthand for you going for a joint.
Right.
And then because of the way the American dating system is, 4 is April, 20. But anyway,
well, I saw, it's funny because I saw that Elon Musk was on about 420 the last day. I hate that man,
You fucking love him, you fucking dick. You were fucking slobbering all over him this morning.
Nah, you defeat him, Musk, I don't. So there was that as well. You were asking me, Amazon opened that fulfillment centre in Baldoyle, and you were asking me why do you like it. It's not the fact that I like Amazon, it's more the fact that the Brexit dividend is going to Ireland, you know. It just signifies the fact that all these businesses that were going to open in England have now decided, no, now that they've left the EU, we're going to...
But Amazon still has to supply Britain.
They've already got ones in England, like.
They've got one in Wales at least.
Yeah, and they were going to open another one, and then they were like, once they had the Brexit, like, no, we're not, and then they've decided to open it in Baldoyle in Dublin.
Well, they had been planning to open one in Dublin anyway, I think.
They already have one in Dublin already, I think.
So this is the second one.
So,
we'll see.
So for that reason, I'm like, oh, good stuff.
But I don't know. See, long term, Amazon fucking moving in. Not even long term, you know, within about 5 years, they can totally upend the economy of, you know, quite a wide area.
Why? More than they do already?
Well,
because you're already ordering from Amazon, like as it is. I don't think it'll have as big an impact as like now, you know. Because you're not.
If you could put an order in,
now, are they going to drone the stuff from their actual building to the rest of Dublin?
They could deliver it from their building the same day.
There's a place.
So you can put an order in and have same day delivery. So why the fuck would you get up with your arse to go down to the butcher, or the electronics supply place down the corner, like? Well,
that's right. There's a place that I forget where it was. I listened to the radio. It was on RT radio or something Sunday. You know, one of the competitors, Macca. One of the competitors in New Ireland TV, if you can call them a competitor. RT.
Oh yeah.
If you can call them a competitor, well, I would not.
I would not either.
They have there was some
the one I'm aiming for is TG Cahir, because I actually do have a huge amount of respect for them and their output.
Yeah.
Except they're speaking that out of Fenian talk, so.
I like a bit of that's Gaeilge. There's some kind of it's like it's a coffee shop down south, but there must be a company down south now that are landing out drones and training the people how to use them. So this coffee shop decided to get a drone, and they thought, oh, this will be good for like a week or so, or you know, people can order their coffee and we'll drone it to their houses. But I suppose it's taking off, and these people are buying the drone now because they're doing that much business after about 3 months.
See, it all feeds into this compartmentalisation of individuals in society. So,
wait, what's bad about that?
Well, because it makes revolution harder to foster. And it's bad for people's fucking psyche to be fucking. We are a pack animal. Do you know what I mean? We hunted in packs back to get a fucking mammoth.
You can still meet up. I could call up this now when me and you's here and get this drone out and get delivers for like a picnic or something.
It's all very convenient.
Yeah.
But, you know, how often do you run into strangers? Like, how often do you interact with strangers? Like, interacting with, you know, people you don't know is actually quite a good thing for your own mental health. Like, do you know what I mean? And I don't mean, you know, you have to go out and start strike up conversation with the first person you see, but
you've got more time. Would you not think in the world now you've got more time to do that?
you would think that, except everyone's sort of compartmentalizing themselves into their own individual cars. So you're sitting in here in this little cocoon of rage and road rage, and you know, you feel like you're fucking untouchable because you're in this roll cage of metal, when really you're not. Obviously, you're just you're commandeering a 2-ton petrol fucking powered. You don't think this is 2 ton?
No.
It's about 6 ton a unit.
Oh, yeah, frick.
But you know, you're commandeering a fucking jet propelled, well, not jet propelled, but propulsion propelled fucking petrol powered fucking 2-ton vehicle. You know, and you get this fucking arrogance that you're in control, and you're not really.
But that's only if you're driving, so.
Aye, and what happens when fucking somebody cuts you off? No, you fucking fuckers, you fucking. And so you've absolutely no consequence to that complete irrational response, like. And then you just end up hitting the people who drive BMWs, or else you'll find some other.
Is this your rant because you don't want to drive, Macca?
I don't want to fucking drive for a lot of these reasons.
But you can go anywhere you want.
I know, but then you're fucking lumped with car tax and insurance and parking fees and petrol and fucking and then
Petrol's
MOT, and then, you know, I'd rather just be able to get on a train or a bus and get to where I need to go to.
Well, sure.
Where I might actually interact with people
like
who I've never met before. You know, the crack you would have on the fucking night buses in London was fucking amazing.
But like, I'm sure you would like to do that, but sure, you know, you can't. You live in the country and there's no trains.
Well, exactly, and that was a fucking deliberate thing by fucking the Minister of Transport at the time, who got rid of all the trains. It was actually a major shareholder in the fucking road building company.
I know.
And it's like, but anyway.
But yeah, I know what you mean. But then
at
the same time, like, you'd have to get a train. Like, if you wanted to come here, there wouldn't be a train out to here, like.
No, but you know, you could have a little ecosystem of private drivers. So let's say they only ever issued driver's license to professional drivers. Do you know what I mean? So you could have a very vibrant, you know, private taxi services all around here that would, you know, put a service to go down Drumlish Road and pick up all the wee women for their weekly shopping for £1 each. You know, that would enhance community. That would give those people company. That would it would mean that the roads are safer, less clogged up, less pollution, less.
Why would it be safer?
Well, because they're professional drivers, it's going to be better.
But they're only professional because you give them a license.
Well, the license would be harder to get. Licenses are almost too easy to get at this point. Like, they really are. There should not be fucking 17-year-olds able to commandeer a fucking vehicle. I'm sorry. It shouldn't be a fucking thing. You especially when these vehicles don't have speed limiters on them. So we have speed limiters, or we have speed limits, but you can just fucking drive twice as fast anyway. Like, we were driving fucking 70 miles an hour yesterday, and a fucking car came around the outside of the Drumore Road. It was at the fucking end of the road within about 3 seconds. It must have been over 95. And this was 6 p.m. on a Monday or whatever yesterday was. What was yesterday? Wednesday. So 6 p.m. on a Wednesday. So, you know, there's a good chance there's going to be a lot of drivers on the road at that time. There could be, you know, pedestrians, cyclists and everything. It's fucking flying down 95 miles an hour. He should be fucking banned just for that fucking recklessness. Like.
Well, if he was caught, he probably would be.
Well, he might get 3 points, but...
No, if going 90, like. Well, no, you can't say it, eh? If you get banned, you get some kind of points. If you get, like, too many points.
But, you know, if you had, like, you know, just professional drivers who would then be able to provide, you know, bespoke services to pubs, country pubs, for example.
But these are just taxis, are they not?
Well, they're taxis, but they're going to be cheaper because there's more of them, and there's more consumers.
Why is there more of them?
Well, how many taxis per head of the population would you say there is now?
Yeah, but why would there be more of them? Why would people do it?
Well, because people need more transport because they can't drive themselves. So this would.
But then, sure, I may as well just go and get my own license then. And not just drive myself then.
You can do. It'd be more expensive and it'd be harder to pass. But yeah, you could do. And you know, well, that's what I mean. That it would incentivize people who do like driving. Like Sean loves driving. I'm sure he would have done it if he didn't have another job opportunity. I'm sure there are plenty of people who would happily do it.
So do you have to keep up your license? You have to give people lifts?
Well, you have to show that you're a professional driver, right?
I'm not, but like other than just get the license.
Well, I don't know. I hadn't thought of it to that.
I say you'd have to, like, because if not, anybody could
Well,
just.
you'd have to drive to the work, like.
You have to drive to that, so you have to actually go to work to do it to get to be able to have the
Well, like
license.
there'd be more minibuses and all as well. And I'd be delivery drivers and all. There'd be more delivery drivers, except now they're no longer needed apparently because of Amazon.
I think I need to sign up to the newsletter to learn more about this idea, Macca.
Well, basically, it's
I'm not sold. I'm not sold yet. I have to say.
only because you're a fucking culty scumbag. You can't fucking change his mind.
What do you mean? I can't change your mind?
But you know, Amazon is feeding into this idea that people are separating and not.
I don't think it's feeding into the idea. People
Well,
are
if
separating.
this whole home shopping is doing that, you know, people don't go out to do a day's shopping and run into everyone else they know.
But I don't go out.
that.
I wouldn't go to Amazon to buy meat or food.
Well, you can buy food on Amazon.
I know you can, but like I wouldn't do it.
Well, that's fair enough, but I'm sure there's plenty of consumers who would.
No, I think people.
Especially if it's cheaper and more convenient, and if they've priced out the competition, that's the only option left.
But they haven't, have they? It's always dear in Amazon. That's why people go on to like kind of Asda or Tesco or something. Their Sainsbury's or something, or Dunnes stores.
Those stores, how the fuck is that still going there?
You know what? It was packed today, but I think it's because they're selling clothes with their food, which I don't know if it's allowed or not. But you can get clothes there, so I think that's why it was. Because obviously, isn't Primark and stuff shut? There's non-essential shops or something at the minute.
But Stunts has been open the whole time.
What?
Stunts and Asda have both been open the whole time.
I know that's what I mean. They have been. So I think that's why Dunn's was packed, because people are going to look at the clothes while they're doing their shopping. Like it was absolutely crammed today at like
Let's hope this Russian.
quarter to two.
Let's hope this. What's the variant that's beating the vaccines? The Indian variant.
The Indian variant, aye.
Let's hope none of them Chelsea supporters had it, eh? Or else we'll be back at square one.
What Chelsea supporters?
The ones that were lined up outside Stamford Bridge when they announced that they weren't going to go for the Super League.
Alright, I don't care if they get it or not, as long as they don't come over here.
Well, see, that's the problem. They won't close the airport, so invariably they will go have it over here. In fact, TD Neil Richmond went over to Cambridge yesterday to make an announcement about the refusal.
The refusal? Is he not the same Neil Richmond that said maybe a United Ireland should rejoin the Commonwealth?
I don't think so.
I do think so.
He used to be a senator.
Yes, yes. He literally recently said that in a United Ireland maybe we should.
There is another Neil Richmond like in politics.
No, this is the same guy. I'm pretty sure this is the same guy.
Okay, well, he went over to Cambridge University to tell them that we should start working towards a fucking border poll. It's like, yeah, thanks, Neil. It is good actually that he is actually a fucking member of the governing party is doing it, so fair enough for him that way. But did he really need to go over to Cambridge to make that relatively low key fucking announcement?
Why did he go to Cambridge to do it?
Exactly. So he went to some Cambridge Debating Society or something. I think he actually went to Cambridge. Like he's the way all the promo material was that he actually went to geographical location of Cambridge.
Right.
So what if he got the fucking India thing and brings it back with him?
True. I know. Well, I don't know, Macca. This whole virus thing, I think, has done a lot for the world.
It has.
The death's terrible, obviously. I mean, you have to get that out of the way first. But other than that, yeah.
No, it's afforded this opportunity. It's global lockdown. It's the first opportunity that the whole world is actually in the same sort of scenario since World War II. Really.
Are you one of these Great Reset conspiracy theorists?
Well, you mentioned this before. Can you explain this? I've heard this phrase, Great Reset. I do think it's a Great Reset.
Yeah.
I think it's happened organically, but there seems to be a conspirabe theory. So can you explain
Yeah,
what this
like
theory is?
that's Great Reset. What do you call the thing? You know the thing Prince Charles is on about, and your boy Slob or something, about how after this COVID, how we're going to build economies up afterwards, it's going to be to do with setting up the world for like a full green economy around the world and stuff. Right. There's this whole thing where about this whole being COVID and everything's been like kind of a cover, but also a reason for accelerating this Great Reset, where the whole world is going to be completely different. The whole world economy is going to be completely different and everything. So like everything, they're on about like changing everything. The money is going to change hands, or like any money that private people have is all going to be all centralized into all the different into actual governments and stuff.
So they're saying the communists are going to take over.
No, they're basically saying that. What was the quote? Oh, people will be happy to own nothing. You'll own nothing and be happy about it.
Yes, by divest ourselves from property. Yes, that's what I'm fucking preaching.
Yeah, so that's what the Great Reset's meant to be, and obviously the leaders are not going to be.
Yeah, who is saying this is what's happening, and who are they saying wants it to happen?
I don't know if they said they want. Who said they say they wanted it?
Well,
everybody's talking it. There's a lot of people talking about it. All these, like, obviously I've been onto these, like, crypto people for a while, and there's a lot of conspiracies in it, but there's a lot of things.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? Like, you're in the crypto forums, and your friend the Salmon of Knowledge will also have been. So you're going to be seeing completely alternative points of view, and like I was saying on the way up here, just because those points of view haven't been rubber stamped by somebody who's got a doctorate.
You know what? I believe there's a lot of it. I believe, Right?
Yeah, exactly. Just because the knowledge hasn't been, validated by fucking Queen's University or some wanky fucking self-appointed.
But the thing is now is that these people, the people that Macca, right, from experience here, that the people have the power never want to give up power.
Well, exactly.
So they'll fight back as much as they can. Yeah. So I think you'll start to see that now when it comes to like cryptocurrency and stuff, that all these big institutions, the big banks and countries, they'll be trying to grab now the power grabs and everything as much as they can over all this stuff.
Over the crypto
just like
regulations and stuff.
Because everything, even the ordinary stock market, it'll probably in the future it'll all be tokenized.
See, that's more like what I expect would happen with the people who are in power at the moment. This idea that the people who are in power are literally going to reset everything so nobody wants to have the idea of property.
No, it's not even.
That would be wonderful. I don't think it's anywhere near a fucking reality though.
I don't think it's that you won't want property. It's just that your property will be worthless.
But like, property is worthless. Like everything is worthless until you apply a value to it.
If that's what I mean, like a house or something.
Or even just
in a house,
getting them in the toy shop.
Yeah. But it's not even that. It's just like it's meant to be this whole. I don't know. It's like this reset. There's meant to be all these things about how we know how China's leading the way in like cryptocurrencies and economy and all. In fact, there was power outage at the start of the week in China. As a result, there was three mine. There was actually, they're doing some kind of work in China in this area in Zhejiang or something, and because of it, there was power outages, and it actually slowed the hash rate of Bitcoin and the whole cryptocurrency market.
It collapsed for 10
minutes. It took a day to see the results, but they all collapsed down. But it was meant to be turned out it was meant to be an accident happened.
Right.
But people have been calling for a long time that China's got too much power in us, and that places like America are so far behind that they want to get rid of Bitcoin and stuff. And this would actually be a reason for, bringing in a carbon tax and all. They want to bring a carbon tax in for things like Bitcoin because it's using too much electricity. But then everybody will drain away from that. So China won't have that economic control anymore that they have.
But see, China was still China. See, the thing that's fucking annoying them so much is that all these fuckers who would go on for decades. Oh, I've never seen communism working. Capitalism worked. Communism doesn't work. It's really fucking getting their goat that the two biggest powers in the world are Russia, which is a former communist country, and China. Okay, it has reneged most of the communism, but because they were in communism, they got a culture and a wealth that now no other country can match. Like they've got a
lot of people too, Macca, though, you have to admit.
Well, India has a lot of people, and they can't fucking feed them all. Do you know what I mean? Like when the USSR was.
But a lot of China people are starving too. Like you just don't hear about it.
Why do you know that then?
Marty told me.
I heard from a guy down the road who said this.
I heard from a guy in Shanghai that said that he's starving to death.
No. It's like I was listening to David McWilliams' podcast yesterday. David McWilliams, sorry, not Williams. Williams, the smart one, not the fucking racist one.
I was actually chatting to somebody recently, said that they watched Little Britain for the first time and said it was absolutely dire. And I was like, I know, I always thought it was dire myself.
Yeah. It's like after you watch one episode, every other episode was just a variation
I said
of
that
that.
too. Like I remember, like when I was at university, people on a Thursday night used to watch it before going out to like a nightclub or something. And I saw it once, and I was like, "Oh, it's alright." Saw it a second, I was like,
Yeah, we've already seen this one. Well, see, what I don't get is how the fuck... Right, so Little Britain was a huge hit, right?
I don't know why it was so big, but I.
Well, anyway. So they had a follow-up show. How the fuck anyone signed off on the fucking follow-up show? It was...
What was the follow-up show?
The one set in the airport. It was supposed to be like a parody
aye.
of the airport thing.
I was meant to be like the parody of the EasyJet thing, you know? Aye, yeah.
So that's a fair enough idea to make a comedy show out of. And it does have scope for a lot of, colourful characters.
Colourful, Macca?
Unfortunately, they took the colourful far too literally and just,
Went full blackface?
Went full blackface. Went totally naked full blackface, as far as I remember. Made the black character a lazy, work-shy Caribbean who didn't want to do anything, but just dug like this and did rice and peas. Like literally they said that phrase.
Yeah.
Then they so he was also a Muslim with a fucking thing. I was like, who the fuck signed off on this? Which makeup artist actually fucking found out which skin tone matched his consistently?
I know.
The series of decisions that had to be made for that show to get from conception to on the air. People should be fucking tried for hate crimes at that point. Like, you know what I mean? But
I don't know who actually paused the EasyJet show and went up to the screen with like one of those, what do you call them?
Do we drink ink droppers?
No, what do you call them? Julex color chart.
Oh yes.
To see, that's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
And and I remember seeing it for the first time and being absolutely like flabbergasted with this television, and I tweeted out, but of course it was all the PR was, oh look at this, David Walliams and such and such is back again with a hilarious take on it. And then David Walliams, the rest of his career is on fucking
making children's books and
well, I was going to say making children cry on fucking Britain's Got Talent, like.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? Like this cunt has made a fucking career out of being the most fucking sinister bullying piece of shit he could possibly be, and everyone still loves him for it.
Sinister. I don't think he's sinister now.
That's unfair in left-handed people. I'll take that back.
Are you left-handed?
No. I'm very dexterous with my fingers, I've noticed.
Are you?
That's why the girls call me fingers.
Is it? I can do this. We'll just do this for like 10 minutes and see if anybody notices.
Do you have a pen there? I'll show you.
I need that. I should have had drawn the two. The eyes on my hands.
Oh, that's like the thing from Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah.
See, I think that'd be the best Halloween costume you could ever get. That thing is so fucking scary and puts the eyes out like that.
Pan's Labyrinth. I thought it was in Irish, and I thought it was just Labyrinth pen. Labyrinth pen. Oh, here I'm boiling in this car.
Alright, we're gonna cook here soon. Anyway, what's your take on ornithology?
It's funny because I was literally thinking
ornithology, if you will. Never mind. I'll cut that.
I was actually thinking about bird watching yesterday morning because there's a wild lot of birds like around the house at the minute. We kind of like North African birds and stuff. Wee small ones about that size, like wee red colours and stuff. And my whole like front garden's all like kind of, it needs cut like, but it's all flowers and stuff, and there's a pile of birds. This car was actually covered in bird shite. And only from the night before.
In Drumcon Picture House?
Yes, and I was thinking to myself, it is stuff. I was thinking, I'm old now because I'm like, I would actually consider going out to learn about birds.
I've already taken up bird watching about 2 years ago.
Do you still do it?
I still keep an eye on to see what I can see.
Do you keep notes at all?
Well, I wanted to just have a list. Like, I just wanted to print out a list and just tick off ones that I'd seen. But apparently that's too much to fucking find on the internet. I thought I'd found an app by Cornell University that is actually really good for finding out the names of the birds you're looking at. So they have wee things like, where did you see it? Is it soaring high, or was it in bushes or on the grass or whatever? And what size is it, blah, blah. So it was quite good for that. But then when you say, I've seen this bird, it enters it into Cornell's database, but doesn't save it on your phone.
What?
So it's like, hang on, I'm just doing all your fucking research for you and I'm getting nothing out of it. All I wanted was
But
just
yeah.
a wee fucking database saying, I've seen this bird, I've seen, you know.
If you should have had your Excel sheet there once you found out the name of the bird, just to write it, click it across.
I know, but that's far too much effort. Like, and it means I'm looking at too many screens. The whole point of this bird watching is to get back to nature. Like, do you know what I mean?
Would you sit out overnight with a pair of binoculars, start looking for a bird?
Your Honor, I do not.
And you're going to say that?
No, I probably wouldn't stay out overnight. No, I would go to a bird watching spot like this on the way to the Belfast airport. That's just a wee sanctuary for marine birds.
The one in Armagh, something.
No, it's like, well,
no, is it something Loughney Discovery Centre? No.
No,
Right
like it's like a wee pedestrian place on the way to between.
Oh, right, okay.
On the way to IKEA, like just on the side of the road.
Oh, right, okay.
And it's just a wee fucking brick hut with a few wee plastic windows, and then there's like a load of gas pipes from all the gas that's coming in from Calvert, and you know, so the birds are all just fucking, you know, roosting on this thing, and you get to have a look at them, yeah, right. Getting polluted.
That's good, eh? That's good.
But I have noticed myself, you know, I have noticed like birds of prey a lot more.
There's a lot of birds out at the minute, eh?
Well, I'm starting to see massive birds. Like I remember I was going through Tyrone, and there was a bird. It must have been about half the size of that. Well, it must have been the size of that steering wheel because it was bending over the branch, and the branch was about the width of my fucking wrist.
Was it like a kite or something?
Well, they have been reintroducing small eagles into Donegal. I was thinking maybe
gold eagles.
Yeah,
I don't know how they done. Do you think? What about this thing? I heard there was I don't know if it's in the census and like here or something. I don't know where it is, but there's something about there's some question where 65% of people. No, they must have done this thing right. So at the minute, do you know that you watch Spotlight about the United Ireland thing? They had the questions just about you're asking different age groups and stuff.
Oh, I don't think I did know.
I don't know if it was that. It wasn't that, but someone done another poll, and they must have used they must have brought out the poll at the same time the company had done or whatever, and they used the same people, and 65% of people were said they agreed with bringing bears back to the wild in Ireland.
I would too,
but there was never been a bear in Ireland.
There was this is back. Well, yeah, but bears are a bit much because it was back like pre-caveman times. I think there was bears.
Was there?
That's why Alloway caves.
We need that elk back.
Well, there's bears in Spain. There's bears in Spain. Like.
Yeah.
So there is Eurasian bears. They've just been hunted.
Eurasian.
And the euthanasia.
I like the euthanasia.
But like, if you look across this vista, which will hopefully, if I remember, I'll get a fucking video of it.
Yeah.
That would have been all trees. Like that would have been.
Know.
Ireland was a fucking rainforest, just a cold rainforest back in the day. So it would have been able to host wolves and bears and eagles and stuff. And in between, there would have been, you know, druids and witches scoring the trees to put down their potions so they could communicate with the fairies. And then, fortunately, those were all cut down. So now I still got this curse, and I can't fucking tell them.
Fairy tree curse. Well, you know what? You shouldn't be James Macca and ass pie.
Why do you keep calling me ass pie?
I don't know. I'm already done it, so I'm going to do it now, just to annoy you.
Doesn't really annoy me, it's just...
Alright, well, I'll keep doing it then.
You'll have to find something else.
No, I'll keep doing it.
Hate it till you love it, is that right?
No, it's love it till you hate it.
Yeah, but it works the other way about as well, Jerry says.
Yeah.
You know, Jerry's the coach of our club now. He's actually doing really well so far.
Has he done it many days? Have you been training?
I haven't been training. I told him that I wouldn't be able to be in Belfast much this year. It's fucking wild annoying. Like, I would actually like to be back up there, but I'm sort of...
Yeah, but so...
You know, he's very good at the positive mental attitude and just reinforcing the clarity of an idea. And he's very good at that, and people seem to respond very well. And he's got like 40 or 50, which I think is more players than we've ever had before.
That's good. That's good.
I'd love to see him do well, but
yeah, so would I. It'd be class. I'm opposite of that. I hate having a positive mental attitude.
I do think there is a bit of an irrational cult around positivity.
If you die, Macca, I'm gonna put that in your gravestone. I think there's too much of a cult around positivity.
An irrational cult, I say.
That's true.
Can you fit that in a gravestone?
What, your rash? That's pretty big.
Where would you fucking bury me? Because I don't want to be fucking buried in any fucking Catholic cult.
Well, I was thinking about giving you like a Viking funeral. You know?
It's much more than I deserve, but
yeah.
I was just going to say, just burn me and throw me in the fucking public toilet or something.
Well, like
Same old shit.
ashes down, or just give you a wee sear and just leave your full seared body sticking out of the toilet and keep flushing it until you go down.
Well, no, that would mean I'd be more of a nuisance than I'm worth. Like, just give me the whole fucking cremation, right? Cheap as you can get. Fucking Fox's biscuit tin. 20p into the wee thing in the Custom House Square, into the toilet.
Do they not do that? Do they not? Is there not like some kind of racket where you can't bring your own urn or something?
Really?
I thought so. I thought there was like a racket, so that's why the urns cost like, I don't know, hundreds of
£600,
pounds. Yeah. You can't just like bring whatever you want, which I think is a disgrace.
Well,
you know.
See, the disposing of fucking dead bodies has proved to be quite a lucrative industry over the decades, isn't it?
Well, you know, I've always said I want the taxidermed, as you know.
Well, I wrote a play about human taxidermy. Nobody wants to pick it up. In fact, it was so objectionable, I think is what's causing my career to stall so extensively.
Oh, it was so objectionable that Netflix wouldn't even buy it.
True, didn't hit all the algorithms. Well, the first thing that comes in is there's a dead body hanging on a fucking meat hook, and the female lead character comes in, grabs balls, goes, "Ghoulies!"
I like the sound of it.
That's literally the first entrance. And I'll let you go from there. Like that exactly. That's eye catching. You know,
it's not eye catching. It's like eye watering.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now the man's dead on the meat hook, right? So,
thanks for clarifying that, Macca.
Initially, I'd written him naked. I think that's what sort of.
I'm sure he would be naked, would he not?
Well, exactly. But then, who would want to put that on stage? Like,
I mean, it'd be more natural for him to be naked than him to be fully clothed, except with his balls out.
Yeah, exactly.
The squeeze. I was like a doorbell.
Well, I was thinking, you know, them hospital gowns. She just sort of reaches up and plies.
No, it has to be naked, Macca.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll buy it, Affy. It has to be naked.
Right, who do we get to play the lead role?
Matthew McConaughey.
I was thinking of Jack Easton, and she's too old though.
So it's a female lad, is it?
Yeah.
Disney will buy it?
Fuck off.
What age is she meant to be?
Well, sort of 30s, 40s.
Oh, we can't do Carey Mulligan now, though. 30s.
I did have somebody in mind a good while ago. I forgot who it was, like an actual Hollywood.
Macca?
Well, that's it. So I did actually have actors in mind when I was writing it, like Belfast actors. But again, I've lost all fucking contact. You know.
Well,
I don't know if I'm getting shunned or if I'm just really bad at networking, but
I say you're bad at networking.
I'm probably also getting shunned.
You're probably getting shunned as well. I do enjoy a good shunning, you know. Do you ever get the people walk behind you ringing a bell shouting shame?
No, I'm not a Jehovah's Witness. No, what do you call that one? The Latter-day Saints?
Mormons? Yeah.
Which one was
Mormons.
Stuckman? He was a
Jehovah's Witness?
he was Jehovah's Witness. See, I didn't realise they were so fucking fascist. But he was so he was shunned because he wanted to watch a movie when he was like 14.
No, it wasn't all just because of that there. Just like, did you watch this video, the whole video that I made about it?
Well, then he also
I actually, to be fair, I think I actually kind of had an inkling about that whole thing.
Well, I assumed he was a Protestant, like, because such a dweeb.
Well, he's American, like. He is a dweeb, like.
Yeah.
I mean, who's making videos like that when they're that age, like? Indiana Jones videos and stuff like that.
Yeah, you gotta follow the market, like.
You, Macca, you're dweeb.
I don't make fucking Indiana Jones. I make reviews about good movies, like Finian's Rainbow.
Oh, yeah, that's true. No, I don't mean reviews. I mean, like, when he was young, making, like, the videos himself and stuff. That I have decided to retire at the age of 40. Like, in my 40, and when I am when I become 40 and before I become 41, I've decided to retire, and it's only like 4 years away.
And how much have you made?
I don't have any money, and I've decided to retire.
Paid off your house?
Have I paid off my house? I've only bought it 2 years ago.
Well, what the fuck are you retiring for?
I've just decided to retire. I'm not going to work after 40.
You got a deal?
I don't know what to do, so if anybody has any ideas, let me know.
You're gonna sit in fucking crypto all fucking day like a peanut, like that.
I'm not, because I can't do it. I'm not very good at it.
Why did you ask your friend to summon?
No, but like, seriously, I want to retire from working.
So you
at least for
number.
At least for something else. I do have a cost number, but I want to, like, I'm going to be 40. Like, sure, I hate that. You know, when people work their whole lives and then they retire like 65. You can't fucking abseil down Mount Everest when you're 65. Like,
what kind of society makes that the fucking norm? Like, do you know what I mean? A society that fucking hates its subjects, is
Like,
what I would say.
but if you like, I can say like if you had it the other way around. So I always had the idea. So what about from the age of like 20 to 30? Whatever you do in the whole, you do whatever you want in the whole world, and everything's free. You walk in the shop, you pick up whatever you want. Just walk out. You don't pay. You want to go and do something, to go and do it. But I do see the thing where it's like, well, sure, after you're 30 then, and you're tied to death the rest of your life, it's nah, I've done everything I have to do. I'm off myself.
Exactly. Just shoot off the Golden Gate Bridge.
So how do you make people do it?
Work for 40 years.
Right after they've done.
Well, I was going to say, just don't have people go to uni until they're 25.
So what do they do then?
So between the age of like 16 and 25, do a year or two of national service, which, as I've already established, is not necessarily military.
Yes.
And then...
But you're still making somebody do something they don't want to do.
Well... But yeah, but if it's looking after an old person at the end of your street, it's a bit easier to comprehend than fucking going and shooting some...
Well, I don't care about that, but maybe, like, what's different? Not doing anything. Like, you don't have to... It's not just...
Well, see, what happens then when you...
But anyway, it's not even that there. It's like, that's alright, but sure, if you're looking after somebody, an old person in the street, you're not going to, like...
I would do that for a year or two, right? And then you'll have built up credit with the government or whatever, right? And then they'll say, right, we'll sponsor you to go to another part of the world to learn their skills or their practices and bring it back to us so we can share their knowledge. Or even just, state-sponsored, exchange programs with different countries, whatever it might be, right?
How much you going to say state-sponsored terror?
State-sponsored terror enacted by 16-year-olds just trying to get away from their parents.
Yeah, going on a gap year to Australia.
Exactly. But if you say from 20 to 30 that people are absolved of all responsibilities, including even paying for something that they're enjoying, it would just, as you say, instill a mentality where people just, imagine trying then to get yourself into the mentality of working for a living.
Yeah, imagine then, that the rest, like, until you're like 70 or then, that you're going to be like stuck in a prison sentence. Like, I know, that's what I mean. So, but you know what I mean? Like, there's bound to be some way of doing it that's better than they do now. Like
don't go to uni until you're 25, and then you'd actually know what you want to do. You'd be more likely to actually invest your full self because you've parted yourself out at that point. Do you know what I mean? You'd be more mature. You'd have more life experience. It wouldn't just be a fucking a big shindig to get away from the parents for 3 years. Do you know what I mean? It would actually be people who are say you discovered you did like ornithology, so then you would go and study birds instead of what happens now, which is people are just go to a careers advisor who says, well, they do good men and Queens. Why don't you go there? Oh, they do good engineering in Jordanstown. Why don't you go there?
I never went to the careers advisor at school,
Well, I did go to it, and I told him I had ambitions to go to the United States to study. And to be fair, he did have the information right to hand that he could literally hand over the desk to me. But it was like 25,000 per semester for out-of-state students, so it was non-starter. Like, but like people are sort of just shepherded into going to university, and then half of them fucking drop out by Halloween. And it's like, this is not the way to do it. And people aren't getting a proper education. The education that costs a lot is getting wasted on people not applying themselves to their proper skill set and everything. Like, do you know what I mean? There is things we could do. Like you could get 20-year-olds to run youth clubs, and they would fucking love it, like, because they'd just be sitting there inventing games all day, and they'd be brilliant at it.
Would they abuse their power, Macca?
Well, no, because there'd still have to be some sort of safeguards, like from the council would have to check in and make sure all the paperwork's filled out and everything.
Check that paper first, filled out. There's a kid there like stuck up to a dartboard.
Exactly.
His paperwork alright there.
Did you do a risk assessment on that dartboard? Greg, okay, that was grand.
Yeah, the kid's checking it. He's up there checking it. Oh, hey.
Anyway, we've crossed the hour.
Oh, yeah. Well.
What else can we fix?
What else can we fix?
What do you think of this weather, anyway? 7 p.m. The sun's fucking cooking us.
It's April too. It's not even May, because usually it's like May time and May and June time where you're sitting in school and it's sunny outside. But
well, always June time. As soon as the exam started, that's when the fucking sun started biting the stone.
Yeah, and then as soon as July started, it was like, man, it's not that good. Like.
No, July was always fucking cooking as well.
Was it?
Right up until the 12th. When you're praying for hailstones. But it was always the best week of the year. It was always fucking, you know, leading up to the 12th weekend.
Are you ready for the 12th of July this year, Macca? Because it's looks like it could be a bit of a shindig.
It could be tense. Well, my
It could
plan
be
was,
tense. Well, my homes too.
my plan was to reach out to the other side of the community, and what I was going to do was we have this like sort of mannequin that we dressed up for the 2008 Tyrone thing. Remember they were doing the beards?
Yes.
So it's this fucking scraggly beard and everything, and Tyrone jersey and all. I was going to repurpose that, so get rid of the Tyrone jersey, get rid of the beard, get rid of this, and actually stick it onto this, so it's an actual effigy of me.
Alright.
Then I put my work clothes on, the work that made me redundant. And then put an open invitation to all the Orange Lodges that if you take away all the pictures of the Pope and all the pictures of Sinn Fein and the Ireland flags and everything, you can have this fully validated effigy of me. You can stick right in the top of your bonfire. The star at the top of the tree, that'll be me. Open invitation to any 11th night bonfire. If you can guarantee my personal safety, I will attend and I will let you burn my effigy.
Well, see, how
about that for fucking cross community fucking outreach, eh?
That kind of dovetails with my suggestion of giving you a Viking funeral, Macca.
Don't say it's quite nice.
So it might actually be you and top of the bonfire.
Let's make sure that the memos don't get mixed up, and it's not me on the top of the bonfire.
You'll be burnt as a witch. You'll be one of those witches.
That's what I was thinking. See if it did show up there, and then some cunts, some fucking proper, knuckle dragging bigoted cunt find out that I was a Fenian, would they actually start fucking trying to burn me alive?
I don't think so.
I don't think there is.
Have you ever went to the 12th bonfire?
I was very tempted to go to the one on the Armour Road.
Marty went to one, didn't he?
Yeah, that's the one he sort of stumbled past. But that one now, because the Armour Road is now just County Armagh, there is no real unionist populace up there anymore.
So it's just up above it.
So it's on the bank of the river, just out in front of the Annandale Flats. And the Annandale Flats used to be
there's one there, but there's also like they did light bonfire up in one of the streets above that.
Just in the middle of the but that's just a wee back streets, and again, like it's not going to be a fucking 50-foot bonfire.
No,
it's about the height of this car, like. But so that's just all hippies now. The one in the Annandale. It's just hippies doing. Keep watching New Ireland TV. The 11th night, your best. We've got history of the Fit and Credit Union up today, and that's the fucking annoying thing. Of course, was a major. Because I have been invited by a few people. Irish Credit Union movement. I would actually like to see a new batch of favourite Irish songs.
I don't like. Yes, you do. I don't.
We're looking for a lot more contributions, and we'll be going around the country.
It's just something I don't like. I've never liked fire.
Stay fire.
You have to talk. But I don't like. I don't like salmon of knowledge.
Salmon of knowledge is.
Which I quite enjoyed.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I liked it. I don't know where we found it. You can do the fucking sign off. You invent the fucking sign off.
I don't have to sign off. It's kind of mini lecture. Something educational lecture.
An explainer video, I would have called it.
Yeah.
And then we had a 37-minute rant about the European Super League that was dated within 48 hours.
Now you're going to have WilMacca.
Now I've 2 WilMaccas to put in the thing, including this one. So plenty of free original content. More original content than BBC Two Northern Ireland is producing. I'm pretty sure of that by this point.
I would say maybe BBC One NI as well.
If you take out the news,
if you take out the news
footage, then yes, I might actually be comparable to their output.
It's actually diabolical, hey? Diabolical, the shows that the BBC Northern Ireland make, hey?
Well,
don't get me wrong, I'm sure that there's talented people involved and all this kind of thing, and fair play to them, but diabolical. It's the only like there's still stuff they're making stuff that like even in the 90s was dated.
Well, they're only anyone east of the band that's represented is just a farmer who loves his country music, and we're all loving country music. Yo, that seems to be their only fucking representation of anyone west of the band. Like,
I just don't understand it. Hey, I don't understand where the money's going. You know where
it's going to the fucking pockets.
You know what the TV license is? It's like £30 a month. It's like £27 a month or some shit.
Oh, it's 160 years old.
I don't know. You pay it for like 6 months or something.
So that's a full Sky subscription, like.
Ridiculous. Don't get like Doctor Who and stuff was good. Well, not this one.
Fuck off.
But like no, but at least they've got like some big shows. But like, what? Surely they'd make a better show than that here. Macca, you know what? We'll make that show. We'll make that show of that script that you sent me.
The firefighters.
Yes, I'm directing it, right?
You can tell people where to stand. Yes. It'll be mostly improv.
I want to film it.
It'll be 3 camera setup, so the cameras won't really move much. You'll be able to choose costumes.
Macca, I will set the show up. I'll get everything organised, don't worry.
Right, okay.
And then I'll use that pilot to get the show started. And then when we get the money, we can abscond to somewhere and I'll put it in the crypto.
Right, what's all this? Why don't you just make the show?
We'll
Then we get
show.
awards for it. And as soon as we get any awards, right?
For one episode?
Well, for any sort of thing. I'm sure there's pilot season awards. But if we can get one award and fold that into viewership increase, we are then an actual player in the Irish media industry.
That's true. No, it's alright. Like, we can definitely, I quite like the show. I think there's stuff to do with it. This is inside, this is in the shop talk.
Well, no, I don't mind revealing. I like teasing out, because then people will know what to expect in the long term.
Well, this sitcom was good. Quite liked it. Firefighting sitcom. I can see that there's a lot of possibilities about it, and I actually think it won't be the dated dross. I don't think.
Yeah, it's a bit more. It's just a bit more universal, really, isn't
it? It's kind of like, it kind of reminds me of like you back, when Channel 4 were like trying to see what kind of new things they could come up with in like the late 90s, but they were just throwing stuff at the wall, and then there's some really good stuff and some like really crappy stuff. But the good stuff was really good.
Like what? Like 11 o'clock show or something?
There's like that. There was Space. There was
oh yeah. Well, even the Big
lots
Breakfast.
of things. There's lots of things. When you think about it, even like there were shows that there was like 1 or 2 offs that they were like, oh, that was really good. But they didn't have another show, and they're like, Robot Wars. Robot Wars.
That's BBC though.
I know.
But even like the Big
But
Breakfast
even like
and
Tom
Chris
Jolly
Evans.
show and all.
Yeah.
When it started on, great.
I see Channel 4, like right up until sort of the early 2000s, they
Honor
were
Head.
actually a good alternative, and it was publicly funded. But now it's just, well, I mean, it is sort of gathering its own identity back again, but it's just not an identity.
There's just a way lot of stuff about embarrassing bodies.
Exactly.
Well, obviously we're WilMacca coming at you next week. Same New Ireland TV time, new TV channel.
Check out for Bruce and WilMacca.
Yes, Bruce WilMacca.